As we continue the fight against COVID-19, the burden of other health issues cannot be overlooked, though the pandemic has taken more attention. But we must not forget the dangers and complications that could arise if other ailments are neglected. Experts warn that if measures are not put in place to fund and control diseases of public health significance like HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, there could be a post-COVID health crisis in Nigeria. Stop TB Partnership in Nigeria says the outbreak of COVID-19 has led to an increase in tuberculosis cases in the country.
TB should not suffer because of COVID, because a lot of more people have TB than those that have COVID. This is not to de-emphasize the importance of COVID, but just to further emphasize the importance of tuberculosis.
COVID has really affected the TB program this year. I will say majorly negatively, because we have not made as much progress in finding the cases. Though COVID and TB, they have similarities, Nigeria is still missing 300,000 new cases every year. We are only able to detect 25% of the estimated TB cases.
Globally, $28.5 billion is needed to combat the 20% increase in tuberculosis, malaria cases due to COVID-19. While stakeholders commend the efforts of the government so far, they also believe the private sector can contribute their own quota.
The private sector at the moment is already playing some roles, so this can be expanded. So we need to identify more private sector partners to play a bigger role. They could do this through corporate social responsibilities, or even identify philanthropists, make them TB champions and give them awards and recognitions, high net individuals and people who can actually play a role.
However, stakeholders are asking government to create a presidential task force on TB, as this will help to curb the spread of the disease as well as reduce the mortality rate of tuberculosis.
We need a presidential task force. Now that the TB now, we thank God for the way that the COVID is being controlled now, it is now community. But the community cases are not coming out. And because of the opening of the airlines, there may be new cases that may come in. So for ability for the COVID program to be able to penetrate into the community, let them use our TB 12,000 drug facilities where we have officers. We need to, so that we can use that to detect. Our drug centers see a person coughing. And so if we are able to integrate them, then so the person coughing can also be tested for COVID, and it will also increase our their detection of cases.
Presently, even within the National Assembly, there was a committee that was set up in order to look at the issue of the convicts, and then even me as the chairman of tuberculosis, I'm part and parcel of that committee. And sooner or later, by the grace of God, we are bringing up our report, of which, by the grace of God, we are praying that the issue of tuberculosis, with the support of the donors, and with what we felt the government are doing in order to increase the budget of tuberculosis by almost 50%, we felt that by the grace of God, the issue of tuberculosis will come to an end.
It is pertinent to note that TB is a chronic disease, while COVID-19 is an acute disease. In fact, tuberculosis is killing more people than COVID-19. This is a big concern to public health. Therefore, expert stakeholders are calling on the government to intensify efforts to funding and controlling TB and pay equal attention to other diseases, just as is being done to COVID-19.